Early morning in my garden. That's the way I like to start every day. It just gives me a little bit of stability and presence of mind to finish my day. My garden is a spiritual place. It's my refuge. Yesterday, or the day before one, I told you the parable of the seed. And my take on it, what I said was, I'll read the rest of the story. Well, Jesus told more than one parable about a seed or about a plant. Another one was the parable of the weeds and the tares. I think that's a weed. That's a strawberry plant. I don't think that when God created the earth, he said, "Thou shalt be a seed, a weed, and thou shalt be a beautiful flower." I think that somewhere or sometime across, throughout the ages, we have decided what are weeds and what are flowers. In a lot of cases, I differ. In my opinion, I think that's a Johnson grass, which all the world considers to be a weed. He's growing in my strawberry patch. I will come out here and yank him. I actually prevent a lot of the weeds in my garden by putting cardboard underneath my dirt. Let me tell you a story about Johnson grass. Years ago, I was in a garden club. Garden club's kind of the hoity-toity of the gardeners, and they would have most of them would have very distinct ideas about what is a weed and what is a flower. Well, there was a flower show, and the garden club members were supposed to interpret a painting with some flower, supposedly. Again, I have to differ sometimes between what is a flower. In fact, let me interrupt myself. That is a herb that some people consider to be a weed. Chamomile is considered to be a weed. This chamomile isn't doing too well right now, but some people consider chamomile. Some people make tea out of it and go to help them sleep better, calm them. But anyway, about the garden club show. So we were supposed to, the painting I got was a watercolor painting of an old barn. Old, sad barn out in a field. And so I made my exhibit, my arrangement out of Johnson grass. Well, I'm sure there were people who were appalled, but the judges agreed with me, and I won that category of flower arrangements. This parable of the weeds and the tares is that, as Jesus told it, is that there was a garden or a farm where a farmer was trying to grow whatever he was trying to grow, be they flowers or whatever, probably wheat and barley and hay and things like that. But the parable says that during the night an enemy came into the garden or the farm or the field and sowed weeds. Well, the problem with weeds, as you see right here, especially if they're in the wrong place, is every plant in your garden is fighting each other, trying to get nutrients, trying to get the soil, trying to get the water. And if your soil is full of weeds, there's no food for the rest of the things. So if I let the Johnson grass go, I'd have a stand of Johnson grass that's 4 feet tall and as wide as this entire area. So if you let weeds take over, you won't have room for anything else to grow. And that's where the problem is. So while I do think long and hard about what is a weed and what is not a weed, I agree that too many weeds can choke out what we want to have in our life. And that's the terrible of the weeds and the tares.